G'day, my name is Ray Bissett. I've spent my life working in the aviation industry and are currently employed by a global gas turbine maintenance, repair and overhaul company, TAE Aerospace. Transformation. Transformation is something all of us have been through in our lives. But what is it? Is it a type of evolution, or is it something completely different? Evolution is often defined as a gradual development or advancement of something. Kind of like how we evolved from the apes into what we are now. Transformation, on the other hand, can be defined as rapid and usually deliberate change to a completely new state of normal. These events not only apply to individuals, but to businesses and governments as well. Transformation is not usually easy. It typically happens as a result of a rude awakening that someone or something has been left behind. In a way, it sometimes happens with bodies that forgot to evolve. It is dictated by circumstances that demand a mandatory metamorphosis from you creating the ordeal of having to undergo changes at a rapid and inconvenient pace. The scars left by transformation do take a lot longer to heal. I am reminded of myself before and after marriage. I could not evolve because there was no time to. A rude awakening that from now there was two people to consider in all decisions I made had left me with no choice. But I got through the painful transformation period and was once again happy, only to face another transformation when the children came along, and then another and another. With businesses, the reasons demanding transformation could be several, but predominantly will be external factors causing the business to react. Examples of this would be customer preferences that change faster than our expectations, or adept competitors that figured out the changing customer preferences ahead of time and hence had time to evolve rather than transform to be more successful, or technology shifts that our business may have missed. With governments, transformation occurs often and is usually driven by economical changes. Technological changes, disasters, public outcry, or pressure from the global community also force governments to transform. Probably one of the earliest significant events I can recall in my lifetime was the Vietnam War. It was the first such event to be televised live, generating significant public opinion. In Australia, the warfighters were generated by subscription to military service. The television of the war created massive changes to how the media functions. And public opinion generated the eventual cancellation of military subscription. It also generated a lot of questioning and changes in many historic military behaviours. There have also been many technological transformations, such as the introduction of the desktop PC. Suddenly, encyclopedias and reference books were on floppy disks. This then moved to CDs and thumb drives, to where we are now, where maybe the current generation, because of the internet, don't even know what an encyclopedia is. The internet itself was a cataclysmic transformation to our lives. Suddenly, the world's information was at everyone's fingertips. Global businesses could communicate more effectively. Transfer of technology could be almost instant, and this created both opportunity and risk. Companies transformed to embrace online sales. The paper letter almost died, but the parcel courier and warehousing businesses' growth was massive. And for businesses that could transfer fast enough, the rewards were great. Companies were created and others transformed and grew. Microsoft became a giant with its Office software. Its email application replaced letters and faxes, and Adobe, noticing this, brought us digital signatures and secure common form document along with many others. Cybercrime then became an issue as criminals transformed their operations, electronically stealing money, intellectual property, and even our identities. And so policing had to transform to deal with this, as well as the way businesses go about securing their data. This transformation is ongoing as the opposing parties try to stay one step ahead of each other. The mobile phone also created a significant transformation in how we behave and how we do business. I remember arriving at a new job, and in the centre of my desk was a laptop, a rather large brick mobile phone, and a car kit for the phone, along with instructions on where to take my car to have it fitted. My transformation was suddenly to a 24/7 worker. I would discuss contacts and clients when driving home, and after dinner, maybe the chief finance officer in the USA would call to discuss my budget. I would open my laptop, connect to the internet, and continue my working day from there at the kitchen table. Of course, nowadays, my mobile phone has much more computing power and massive more storage capacity than that old laptop. It is constantly connected to the internet, and I can also use it for video calls with staff, customers, and even my family. Another world transformation was caused by September 11th. Who cannot remember the awful images of those aircraft striking the Twin Towers and the eventual collapse of those buildings filled with people to dust and rubble? The airline industry undertook an immediate transformation. They installed hardened, locked cockpit doors. Passenger screening became an industry in itself. New equipment was invented, and travelling public needed to transform their behaviour as well, allowing for longer check-in times and smaller volumes of hand-carried liquids, such as hand creams and perfumes. The transport industry in general has undergone technological transformation. Who would have thought we could become comfortable with nothing more than copper wires connecting the human interface to controls to the parts of the vehicle that we are controlling? Further, we are more comfortable with computers modifying those human signals to improve safety. An example of this is traction control in our cars. The industry will undergo further transformation as we move to electric power and full autonomous control. After autonomous control, we will watch the governments grapple with the revenue loss due to autonomous vehicles not speeding or breaching traffic laws, and hence the loss of income due to fines. What will they then do about licensing? If you're not driving the vehicle, do you need a license? Do we still need to police our roads? This will be another transformation when it comes. And finally, we're in the midst of a transformation right now. The coronavirus, COVID-19, is forcing the worldwide transformation right now, which will have lasting impacts on how businesses and governments prepare and deal with such a global event in the future. What will the results of that transformation be? And what will be the long-term impact on our lives? Only time will tell, but certainly this will happen by transformation, as the world does not have the luxury to sit back and watch things evolve. My name is Ray Bissett, and I hope you enjoyed my insight into technological transformations.